welcome back to Weirdos Assembled. 36? Yeah, 36. I had to think about that for a second. Hope everybody had a great week. If not, let's hope that we can make the day a little bit better for you. I am Two-Wheeled Goon. Tonight I am joined by Bruiser, The Loose Juice, alright, and we got the Mad Yankee. So how's everybody's week been so far?
Kind of messed up. I didn't get to ride much because it just kind of kept raining again all week. It's been happening a lot this summer.
I've just been too damn busy to get on two wheels, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of you thought. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sure some of you guys saw that my new modification / part came in.
I did.
It's really good.
Yep. So that I haven't gotten the bike out with that on it yet, but I'm very excited about that. I should also make the packing situation for camping trips and whatnot much easier because my saddlebags all suck and don't fit very much. But now I can just bungee my tent and my sleeping bag and, rugs, bear skins, and God knows what else to the back of that sissy bar instead. So.
Yeah. I had that problem during the first Forgotten Angels trip. That's why I went for the Viking bags. I had to think about that for a minute. It's not that it helped much. I still bungee corded a bunch of shit to my sissy bar last time I went to Forgotten Angels.
Mm-hmm.
And to the Weirdos Assemble campout. And to Virginia. I may have a problem.
Yes, your problem is you don't have enough motorcycles. Get more.
The problem is I don't have a big enough motorcycle.
Just
Okay.
N plus one. That's the equation. N being the number of motorcycles that you have right now.
Yes. I
Same
gotta
thing
have
with
one.
gun.
I gotta have one for my oldest kid, my middle kid. Eventually acquire one for the youngest kid. Have a spare for myself. A project bike.
And let's be honest, a full dresser.
Yeah. As long as it's not an Indian.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not that cool.
the big thing is wifey. That way, wifey's got her recliner on the back.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
You're
I like
probably gonna
bikes.
do
I don't
it.
give a shit if it's an Indian.
Exactly. I'm gonna do I'm planning to do an Indian test day next Saturday. I think it is. Going to get an Indian, but I want to make content with an Indian because my only experience is with the Scout, and I think I vocalized that enough. Sorry, Yankee. That bike doesn't work for me. That was a Scout 60 though.
Yeah, well, that's the shitty one. I'm not quite sure why the fuck you choose that.
You mean there's a good one?
Rental. That was. I know we talked about our guy Lee down in Tampa. One of the bikes he was renting was this. It's a really good looking bike. The black Scout 60 with the the tan leather and that bags. It looked cool. I just ergonomically that bike just doesn't do it for me.
Oh yeah,
Every bike requires some tweaking.
Yes, I'm sure that a lot of you guys will attest to. I, in fact, changed up the ergonomics on mine by getting the different bars. So that was definitely a thing. Although when I rode it all the way to Arkansas, that was completely on the stock setup. So wasn't as bad as I thought it would be doing that, because after a while, I was just kind of lock into position. But
Yeah. Alright, well, let's see who we got in chat tonight.
yeah, no, on him is kind of a joke. Yep. So yeah, it gets bumpy. You're going on a trip with me because I need a beer.
Okay. Now, let's see who we got in chat. We got Journey and Jerry. A regular. Love him to death. Speaking of Jerry, I love this koozie to death. We got Julie Smith. We got AZDZ Adventures. We got Bry the Biker. We got room, buddy. Jump in. We got a little Lucy Juicy. Ray's Moto Life is in chat. How's it going, brother? Welcome. We got Sky's Limit. We got Bruiser. Let's see. Scrolling down. Nothing at random's hiding in chat tonight like a little weirdo. I don't know why.
Extra weirdo.
Yeah.
That's about
And
the
then
tip.
Rainy's eating steak. You're a few hours behind there, Bubba. I mean, I don't blame you. Steak at any time's a delicious meal. But you're a little late, man. And Jerry, yes, I would love to get some mini bikes for the girls. I guarantee you my 5-year-old would try to stunt one off the first thing that she could.
Right.
The oldest would be too scared to get on one until I put her on it.
For a moment, I thought Yankee had hot sauce. Super tricky.
He's that
No,
kind
I
of
took a swig of it.
he's that kind of masochist.
Promptly vol- Nope, I took a swig of it and my beer promptly volcanoed. So, you know, fun times.
All right, chat. So, how do we sound tonight? I know we've been running our mouths already, but making sure that the audio levels are good. What's up, Casey?
What's up, Casey?
He's a real one.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely get a collection.
Ones
of
in the
the
chat.
girls.
Casey, how are you, buddy?
We can't forget the little boy in the middle though. He always gets overshadowed by his sisters. He also never speaks up. He's the quietest of the bunch.
Sounds like trouble.
Maybe when he's 15 or 16.
Chip off the old block.
I think I told you guys the
Middle
story.
kids, especially when
I think I
they're
told you
in the
guys
middle
the
of
story
two
about how
sisters
Big
and boy.
Sister is the protector, right? Happened last year at school. Some 5th grader. This was a couple years ago now. Jesus. I do have a son. He is 8 now. But back a couple years ago, yeah, was it the last year or the year before? They were walking from daycare into the school, and this 5th grader at the time pushed my son into the door as they were walking in. And on the video, like the CCTV, all you see is my I would say she's probably 8 at the time, just come flying out of nowhere and just cross hook this kid in the face. And I'm like, yes. Proud dad moment.
goddamn.
Proud dad moment.
Is this the answer?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
The principal's like, all right, do you have anything to say? Oh, sorry. Your swing was a little off, but you made good contact. And he's like, no, this is not what you say. I was, what, you want me to tell her that she shouldn't defend her brother? Get fucked, dude. Violence is the answer 90% of the time.
Today we choose violence.
And tomorrow.
So
And the next
the big tall ginger chooses violence. And I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
But she also knows the ground rules. If someone starts a fight with her, she finishes it. If someone's picking on little brother or sister, she finishes it. Otherwise, she lets them throw the first swing.
3 hits.
That way, she fulfills rule number 1.
3 hits. They hit you. You hit them. They hit ground.
I just told her, FIFO, fuck around, find out.
Yeah.
Like, I think between that and the story you told about them doing the room clearing drills on the teddy
Oh, yeah.
bears,
Clearing her Battle
I
Girl
think
6
anybody
with
who
killing
tries to
terrorist
screw with
teddy
them
bears.
is
Oh,
really friggin' hurt.
another proud dad moment. Another proud dad moment. I have fun
Yep,
with
I
my
would-
kids.
I would not mess with them at all in any way. That's got bad idea written all over it.
It's man.
So, there's another one. There's another story that I have. It's my oldest was about 7 at the time, and I'd already been showing her how an AR works, like how you can do a functions check, clear, and like break one down. to clean it because she likes helping Dad clean guns. Well, I take her to work one day, and all the little privates are sitting around and they're cleaning their guns. And she sits down beside one of them. She takes the bolt off and she looks down. She's like, "This not clean." I'm like, It hurts, bro. My 7-year-old is showing your ass up. And then we took her into the office and they looked at her like, do you know how to put one on safe? She goes, yeah. And she flicks it on the safe. They're like, what else you taught her? I was like, taught her how to do a functions check, taught her how to break it down. So they just kept quizzing her this entire time. She was doing functions checks on different weapons. I loved it. The most infantry 8-year-old ever.
You know, somebody might have something negative to say about it, but that's just going to be a kid who knows that that's not a toy.
That's exactly right.
But exactly. So we do have a comment in here in the chat from Rainey. Violence may not be the answer, but it's still an option on a multiple choice test.
Well, see, Rainey, if you don't know the answer, see your way out, and violence is always option C.
It's either like, well, you know, you've got a couple options. You know,
I mean,
you got
depending on the severity of the situation, that ranking may go up.
You've got 3 answers. You get 3 answers right: diplomacy, violence, and extreme violence.
Oppenheimer's a really good example of extreme violence.
I need to watch
I love that movie. It's so good. It's also banned in Japan.
Ooh, I wonder why.
They saw it in 3D 80 years ago.
Well, true, but we could also say that it's his fault we have anime now. You know.
Jerry, that's a great question. I told them I don't care if they enlist. I told them not to enlist. At the very least, do not enlist. I told them all to go Air Force. If they go. Go be an officer in the Air Force. Most cush life ever.
Oh.
Don't live in the dirt like Dad did. Go be a pogue in the Air Force. Go be an intel officer. Go be a pilot.
Go fly a desk.
Yeah.
I was saying my grandfather was in the Air Force, only he wasn't in the Air Force because it wasn't the Air Force at the time. It was the U.S. Army Air Corps.
Yeah.
And he did not have a fun time.
My mama was in the Air Force Reserve for 28 years.
Because, yeah, my grandfather
Aircraft
was
maintenance.
very staunch. You will go infantry for at least the first 3 to 5 years of your time. After that, I don't care. He's like, everybody should be infantry for at least so long. I just never left the infantry. I like violence too much.
Nope. But and Jerry just put it in the chat, but Jerry was a combat medic.
Yeah. Me and Jerry have had a lot of conversations about that.
So,
He's
does that
definitely
mean
up
does that mean Jerry's a part of the Boo Boo Squad?
Jerry could be.
Jerry to be sober.
So
To
Julie,
enjoy-
Rainey
actually
was in the
help
Navy.
somebody.
I was Army. Jerry's Army. There's a few more of us.
Rainey. Well,
I said Rainey was Navy.
Navy. Okay.
Chinese Navy.
There's a few others that show up from time to time, like Gunny Z was Marine Corps.
Jerry is never sober enough. That's a self-admission.
I know.
I knew that he would claim that. Yeah.
I'm never drunk enough,
Go ahead,
unfortunately.
buddy.
Speaking of which, Goon shall return.
Say Yankee. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, that's fine. I was just going through the list of people we know who served. I know Mike Branch was Marine Corps, if I'm not mistaken, as was Tory Crabtree.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch actually in our little clan here.
Yeah. Cooter's Marine.
Don't know that I would say
there's a
clan.
handful.
Might have more negative connotations than you're hoping for right now.
It just depends on how you
No,
spell it. Come on now.
Well, remember too, I grew up in the north, so fuck it. Yeah, when
I'm
we
just
say
avoiding that situation altogether. Let's be real.
But when I say that, I'm thinking of the stuff my mom told me about, like, Scottish clans and, like, the fun ones.
Okay.
Right.
Until they all get fucking mowed down on a moor trying to overthrow the British government. But that's a whole different podcast, I guess.
Freedom. No. Well, also, gaming clans used to be a thing, too. So
That's still a thing, so. Oh, man. I'm going to get in trouble on the internet one of these days. But that's okay.
Does future tense really need it?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I'm confident we've already broken something.
We have, but we haven't been called out on it yet, I'm sure. Because I haven't received any channel strikes.
Chain of Command hasn't drug you into the office to have a conversation about it yet.
Yeah, let's talk about that off stream.
The snitch.
What we call those blue falcons. Oh man, I'm wondering if Steve's gonna jump in with us tonight. Speaking of somebody I just got a message from.
Where's Nar?
Where is Nor's little bitch ass?
I know, and
There he is! And Sid. Sid has a
said his
special
name
event
enough.
for us tonight. Yes, I had to go look in the mirror and chant Steve 3 times, and he shows up.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, and then I appear.
Yeah,
and
Bloody Mary, or Biggie Smalls.
Hey!
And I talked to you about inventory forecasting for 6 hours. It's fantastic.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Always interested in logistics.
Yeah, no, you're not this interested in logistics. Fucking trust me. It's so hard. How you guys doing?
I'm alright.
Yeah.
It's been a
Yeah.
week.
I'm tired as hell,
Yeah.
but I'm alright.
I took
Yeah,
a
I was
half.
gonna-
I took a half day from work, so
Well, I absolutely fucked myself up Tuesday. Oh my god.
Well, I saw on the. Hold on. Let me make sure that my condenser is on.
So there's 2
Please,
different incidents that happened Tuesday. I can only talk about the one right now.
After party.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, chat.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
That's our favorite part of the stream. Is the after party.
But no, so there's this. I'm sure everybody who's like familiar with the military knows what Ranger School is. At least I would hope so. It's the Army's.
Yeah,
leadership
it's
school.
what Nick Cage went through before Con Air, like
Close.
before he got on the trip.
Close.
So
2 different things.
yeah, Rangers lead the way. So
That is
yeah,
true.
I know. I'm right there.
Anyway, they're debuting a new
I know
PT
exactly what
test
it
for
is.
the school. The old PT test was, I think it's 49 push-ups, 57 sit-ups, and 5-mile run in 40 minutes or less. The new PT test that they're coming out with is a 1-mile run followed by 6 chin-ups. Oh yeah, after the 5-mile run, there's 6 chin-ups in the first test, but beside the point. So 1-mile run, 6 chin-ups, 100 meters of kettlebell carries. You'll have 40-pound kettlebell in each hand. Then you'll come back and you'll sprint 10 meters, do a burpee, sprint 10 more meters and do a burpee, and do that for 100 meters. Then you come back. and you drag a 180-pound sled behind you for those 100 meters, and then you run 2 more miles. All this has to be completed in 27 minutes.
Oh, I was just say, yeah, like that all sounds like doable, but then time-wise, it sounds tough.
The time frame is the
We-
trick. Is the trick part.
We tried doing it in the 90-degree heat Tuesday afternoon,
Yeah, that
and we
sounds-
all
that
wanted to
sounds awful.
die.
Wait, so is that harder or easier than what the old PT was?
I would rather do the push-ups, set-ups, run, and pull-ups.
Yeah, so would I. I mean, like, how much did you used to have to run in how much time?
5 miles in 40 minutes.
Any elevation, or is it just flat?
At the school, there's some elevation change.
It's a lot. That's fast.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's like a
Well, I do like-
7:30
I do like-
pace ish, I think.
I can do I can do like 55 with about 1,000 feet of elevation, up and down a loop. There's one. It's like 5.5, 6 miles. That's hard. And I couldn't really imagine going much faster than that.
Yeah, I did my run when I got home from work today, and I don't know if it was just that I'm doing it later in the day or maybe it was more humid, but that hill kicked my fucking ass today.
See, this was a good segue. I'm glad you brought that up. How has everybody's challenges been going? Because I've still been doing my 100 push-ups, or I've been sometimes supplementing it with 100 dips. But after Tuesday, I took a couple days off. I was like, absolutely fucking not. I did 4
Okay, so-
days worth of work right there.
Can we clarify? Because I've seen the numbers in the room, the workout room, but I don't know what the initial challenge was.
So the initial challenge was 100 push-ups for 100 days.
Okay. Now, is this like you can do them? You can 100 push-ups for 100 days, and just like no more, no less. You can't like bank days or
You can't bank days. You can go over, but you can't bank.
Yeah, so I think the way the challenge works, because forgive me, I'm not actually active in that, but 100 push-ups a day for 100 days. So
Yep.
I mean, you know, and so and you can go over like I know some people they've been.
Listen, I think Aaron
as I
went
check
over
in-
a couple days ago.
I've been checking. Yeah, Aaron also did his drunk, I think, recently too.
Him and Juice
It's
did
at
them
my house.
drunk.
Dude, shit, dude. I was like, you do a what?
You had a kegger though, so
Yeah, and like, I was not doing push-ups, but he was insistent. And this was like later in the night. We were sitting around a campfire, and he was just like, every about 5 minutes, he'd get up and just start cranking out more. And I don't even remember, somebody else started doing it with him, but I know, like, just throughout the day, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, yeah, we're doing this challenge. I had no idea about this stupid challenge, but
So,
not sober.
in general, how have people been faring? 100 push-ups, 100 days? Because that's actually like to do it consistently. It's not 100 push-ups in a day is not hard. Like
The first
if I don't have time to go to the gym, my standard push-up workout is I have to do 300 push-ups in 20 minutes. I usually can do it in about 24, but that's the goal, is always 20 minutes or under, and it's 300, and that's fucking hard. But that's if I don't have time to go lift or anything like that.
yeah. So the big
Yeah,
thing
so-
is, well, I was about to say, because like I've been observing anyway. They've been breaking them up. They'll usually knock out like 10, 20, here and there throughout the day, and then later on when everybody's home from work, they'll probably do more in a set before.
Normally mine are done
were-
by the time I'm done for the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I tried it.
I'd be curious.
That level.
So
We can't all hide behind a skateboard with nothing else on except boots.
I thought that picture would go away. I
Oh,
thought
that's
it would be,
meme level now.
It's the coolest thing you've ever done.
Well, yeah, I was like, well, I was talking to Steph and I was like, it's so weird. And I'm like, screw it. Everyone's gonna forget about it. Anyway, like in a couple of days. And it's been like a month, guys. Like, there's no reason to bring it up. I am actually curious. So, like, how are you guys doing with your push-ups? If you don't, if you aren't doing, if you haven't done push-ups in the past, I don't know who has and who hasn't. I know Goon has, obviously. You know, I have, obviously. But, like, how has it been? How are you progressing? What was it like at first?
I've been watching the chat with some of them, and I'm not going to name names just because it's within the chat. But some people have progressed from having to do all 100 on just their knees to actually being able to knock out some sets, like legitimate push-ups, which is awesome progress to see. And Julie, I know that I promised you a Discord code. I forgot. I'm sorry. I will get you one. I promise.
What's the Discord code?
Discord invite for somebody that subscribed. I just completely blanked out on sending it.
So, like, in general, who had never done them out of I guess
There's a couple
Juice and-
people.
Juice and Yankee.
I am not well versed in push-ups, and I'm not in that challenge.
Okay, so you're not in the challenge, Yankee.
Yep. So I've been doing it. I probably hadn't done any real push-ups in over a decade. Actually, I'd been working out on and off for periods of my life since high school. My form's probably not great, but I'm not on my knees. I'm not off of a wall or anything. And I go down and I go up, and I go down and I go up. And sometimes I can get my face pretty much at the floor each time, and then other days it's a little tougher. But I just try to bang them out. And I started off basically doing 10 at a time. Then I was doing 25 at a time, and then today I did them 50 at a friggin' whack, trying to
At
knock
one
them out
time?
before. Yeah. So I do like maybe 30, and then I get up and breathe for a second. I'm trying to bang them out when I'm at work. So basically, it's whenever I can sneak away from my desk and go hide in one of the back rooms and do a few push-ups.
Because I was
but
saying,
I've
if
been-
you can do 50 in a row without stopping, like that's, I don't know if I could still do that.
That's better than some
I'm
soldiers
sure if
do.
we did one right now, you would point out 30 things that I'm not doing optimally, and that it's
No,
not.
it's really not like people. It's not about like, okay, well, don't flare your elbows out. That's basically it. Try to keep him relatively close.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go further apart and hit certain parts of your chest, whatever. But like in general, like just as long as you're not like doing something that looks weird,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, I mean the other thing too is like I've been doing that challenge, but I've also since really last month I sort of started kicking it into high gear. I actually got really serious about not only doing that, but going to the gym at least 3 times a week. And then every morning I get up and I run for 2 miles. I run, and I got a big fucking hill out behind my house, and I do that, and it's been getting better every day, and I feel better physically, but I think more importantly than any of that, I feel way better up here. This is very much improved, and there are some days that's all I fucking care about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, as long as I feel like I can get up and face the next day and keep fighting, then I'm just gonna fucking do that. And everything else is just a detail.
Yes, there's room for you, Mike. One thing that I had thought about, like attempting to add into the challenge, because everybody's starting to get the push-up thing down really well, is either a 1 or 2 minute plank. Like you get done with
That's
the
a
push-ups
hard
and then
one.
you just hold it.
Planks, if you haven't done them,
Oh, planks suck.
like I know people who do planks for like an hour, and there's. So I used to work out. Prior to the beginning of this year, I worked out every single day, 7 days a week. When that photo was shot, I hadn't worked out in, I don't know, at least 6 months.
Cue me jealous, but okay.
I've got weird things going on with my body. which I can tell you about later, but it's odd, kind of scary at first, but it was odd. Anyway,
That matches.
there's
That matches you.
a woman who I was at the gym with, and she would do wall sits and planks. Wall sits for like an hour. Try to do a wall sit for like a minute.
I think the
And-
longest I've held a wall
that's
set was
terrible.
like 10 minutes, and it was the most atrocious thing I've ever done.
It is excruciating. And so I would sit with her and I would talk to her a little bit, but like I was starting to like shake after a few minutes. And like she was doing it like that was her routine. She did wall sits, she did chin ups, and she did planks. And that, she was a stud from Sweden. She was this like older chick. I don't know how old, but she was just a rock star. Doing things that there's no way I could do. So planks are interesting.
Well, that's also part of the Army's new PT test.
Planks,
Yeah.
it's fair.
Like, I think
mean, if you
the minimum is like a minute and a half.
Which is not easy. If you can't, well, I mean, it's for
Jerry's
your
bringing
core.
up
Like the Army's having such a the Army's struggling with the new PT test right now because you either love it or you hate it, and Congress is trying to force us to go back to the old push-up, sit-up, 2-mile run PT test because nobody can agree on standards. Is it gender neutral? Is it age neutral? Is it black? Is it white? Is it yellow? Is it purple? Is it green? There's so many different. There's so much bullshit with it going on right now. But when it started, we had 6 events. We had a deadlift. We had the hand release push up, the ball throw, the sprint drag carry, which is kind of it's weird. We had the leg tuck at the time, and then a 2-mile run. To pass the leg tuck, you only had to do one leg tuck.
What's a leg tuck? I don't know what that
So
is.
you hang from a bar like you're about to do a pull up, do a half pull up, and then you bring your knees to your elbows, and then back down.
Oh, that's easy.
That dude.
You only do one of them. To max the event, it was 20. But once you had a rhythm going, you could bang all 20 out in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Now you have to sit there for 3.5, 4 minutes in a plank to max it.
Yeah, that's like
It gets
a
boring real
4-minute plank
quick.
and stuff.
Well, you got to think too. I mean, age neutral, especially when you're talking about the military, you got a lot of difference between an 18-year-old and someone who's like in their 40s or 50s even.
So,
But,
funny thing
there
is,
might
the
still be
minimum
in.
that you have to do goes down
right.
as you get older. But the maximum you have to do to get max points also goes up as you get older. Go look up Army ACFT score chart. It's fucking weird. But they finally did so there's age brackets and gender brackets now.
What are the gender brackets like?
Like male, female.
No, I know that, but like is it like substantially different? Are they like is it like really different standards like that?
Oh, the standards are wildly different.
Okay.
Like I think maxing for the deadlift for women is like 200 and something. Maxing for males is 340.
When we say maxing, is that like the
Max
most
points
you need?
to get 100 points.
Yeah, it's 3. I'm looking at it now. I pull it up because 340 for men, and I'd like stays pretty steady until 46 years old,
Yeah.
and women is 140, which, or no, wait, that's minimum. Women is 230.
Yeah, so 2 plates and then 2.5, I guess. Which is heavy.
The run times are drastically different too, though.
Yeah.
Because when they had gender neutral, hardly any women were like actually maxing the score for anything. Not to say that they can't
You know-
do it. It's just the caliber of soldier. I don't know.
You know what's interesting is that like, there's not a lot of 24-year-olds or like 22-year-olds who can do triathlons or like ultra marathons. You don't like, you would think, hey, these people are in the best shape that they'll ever be in because they're the youngest and they're everything's going there. It's all that. You don't see that though. You generally see people who do triathlons. They're in their like 40s, 50s, because a lot of it. So it was described by Cam Hanes. I don't know if you guys know who Cam Hanes is, but triathlons are from here up and your ankles down, and everything else doesn't really matter. And it's true. It's like when I first started to do trail running, I would just stop fucking all the time. Just stop all this sucks. And then, I'd stop a little bit less. And then my goal was like, oh, I only stopped 3 times on this run. And then I only stopped once at the top. And then one day, it was kind of an overcast day. I was feeling fine. I just kept going. And then I realized I could do the whole thing without stopping. So for the rest of my life, as soon as I leave my car and come back to the lot, I can't stop. I can't stop running until I physically touch my car because I know I can do it. And that's not something that you don't really have that when you're younger. I don't think. My opinion.
I know something that Rainey had proposed that we do, and I think this is kind of a testament to that, is he wants to do, what was it? Push-ups, something else, and then a 10K?
Well, I did, it was a 5K, but I mean, I did it so I did a 5-miler. So back in when I was in EXW, we would do, push-ups, sit-ups, and 8-count bodybuilders, and then finish up with a 5-mile run. But it's required to be in the expeditionary or on a boat team or on any kind of team. You have functional workouts, and if you can't, and there's a time limit. It's like 45 minutes, but you have a time limit. If you don't finish in the time limit, sorry, we don't need you. But and that may sound kind of out there, but Goon can probably tell you what you do for the PT test is nothing compared to what you're doing out in the field. And it's more important to be ready for the field than it is for your PT test. Yeah. And especially like shipboard, or when you're doing firefighting, or even when you're doing, like if you're doing QRF, quick reaction force, you might only be running 100 yards. But when you're in full battle gear and you're trying to get there because you're either running ammo or you're trying to set up a 60, it feels like you're running 5 miles. So there's a big reason why the military has such stringent physical standards, and it seems like they started kind of giving them up here lately, but I hope they don't, because a weak military also, causes a weak country. Different conversation, but there's definitely a reason why the military has such high standards for military or for physical standards. Hi everybody. Welcome to the show.
Hi. I'd like to, because like right now my thighs, they're like screaming at me because they're like, I haven't run in a while, and they're so upset because they're like, you need to go fucking run, and I'm like, no, I have to get this shit done, and I work a lot, so I need more incentive to actually work out while I'm here, since I spend more time here than I do at the house.
Push-up challenge. Jump in with us.
Yeah, I could, but I need to do so, and I could, and probably wall sits or something, just something to get my thighs like not super pissed off.
That'd be an evil combo right there for the group. I'm down.
I can do wall sets. We have to like choose a time.
5 minutes.
Well,
5 minutes a day?
Oh no, 5 minutes at a time.
Oh.
fuck that. Get the hell out of here.
What?
I just got done explaining that when I was, I kind of stopped. Like I used to work out every day prior to January, and January of this year has been really busy, obviously. And I haven't had time to work out at all. Like I maybe go once a week to the gym. But when I would go, there was a woman, an older Swedish woman, who do like a wall sit for like an hour, and she would do planks for an hour, and then she would do like a ton of chin-ups, or she would do pull-ups. They're just like shit that I definitely couldn't do. So a 5-minute wall sit is very, very hard.
I hate pull-ups with a burning passion.
That's tough. Like, what's your max? If you had to.
10? I'm not good at them.
No, no. Well, I'm light, so it makes it a little easier.
Well, there's guys at work who can just rep them out for days. So I'm like, yeah, you can have them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You used to say you only have to do 10 to eat, so that's all I'm doing. To get into the chow hall during search and rescue training, you had to do 10 pull-ups to enter the chow hall. 10 and I'm done. You know how many I do it today? 10. That's it.
And that was right before dinner, right?
But it wasn't after dinner.
Well, apparently airborne
No,
school
they're
has
just some
reinstituted
things.
that now. Like you have to do, like they don't do a PT test anymore. It's you do a run and then you do X number of pull-ups to get into the school, and then you do that many pull-ups before each event. Or I don't know. It's been so long since I was there. They've changed it, but you don't have to do a PT test anymore apparently to get into airborne school.
Everything is softening up, and I hate to say it like that, but the military is getting less and less physical. They did this in the 80s too. I mean, right before I came in, the entry to get in the military was like 25 sit-ups, 25 pull-ups. By the time I finished through MEPS, got to boot camp, they changed it back to 40 and 45. Within probably 2 years, that's when they started doing the structured test. Well, the older you get, the less you had to do. Up until 89, it was 91. You had to do 40 and 45, and then your 2-minute run was a time schedule. But it didn't matter if you were 18 years old or 45 years old. You did 40 push-ups and 45 sit-ups, or you didn't stay in the military. But then they started gradually cutting it down. So a lot of people said, well, you know, if I'm 37 and all I got to do is 15 push-ups and 20 sit-ups, that's all I'm doing. I think it's the biggest mistake the military ever made.
Where'd you go?
I know.
Well, I mean, like, overall recruitment numbers are pretty low, right?
Yeah.
Oh, our recruiting's abysmal right now.
But I think the reason the recruiting levels are so low is because it's not a standard to reach anymore. The best Army slogan they ever had for recruiting is "Be all you can be."
We
Marines
just went
had,
back
"We're
to
gonna
Army
put few good
Strong.
men." Yeah, I got a T-shirt that says, because we were subsidizing the Army the last 3 times I deployed, so we had a T-shirt made up that was an anchor that was dragging a Army flag behind it, and it said U.S. Navy when Army of One just isn't enough. Little joke. But it was all in good fun. I mean, it's like cousins. There's always a camaraderie. There's always a challenge going on there.
Oh yeah.
When it comes down
And there's
to
always
it, we're all-
always that special one who takes everything way too seriously. Yes, I'm looking at you, Marines.
except for the Air Force.
We
fuck
love
those
them
guys.
anyway, you know.
Yeah, fuck the Air Force. They would always just wave at us after we were jumping out of the plane, like, bye, stupid. And you'd go, like, fuck you. And Out the door you
I've
go.
got a friend of mine. He was he was on jump status for most of his time in the army, and he went in '71
There she is.
and got out after
Hey,
the
Sid.
first Gulf.
Howdy. Howdy, everyone.
Hi, Sid.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
And yeah, he's a real salt of the earth guy, but yeah, he said a few of those planes he was happy. He was more than happy to get out of.
Okay, when we're jumping out of a C-130 series, any of them, I'm more than happy to get out of that motherfucker. I'm tired of being. By the time we jump, we're tired of being cramped in there like fucking sardines. On the C-17, everyone's perfectly happy to just stay in that motherfucker because there's plenty of room.
We did our jumps out of a Sherpa. I was more than happy to get
I've
out
done
of
that. I've done a Sherpa, I've done a Chinook, I've done Black
Flying
Hawk.
tuna can.
Yeah.
It's louder inside the plane than outside.
You know, people
Someone in the
pay
Marines
to
use
do
that.
this.
It's got the two props that, like, you know.
That
like
is,
that.
that's the fucking Osprey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not like a really
Osprey jet.
sketchy one.
It's
Right.
more
No,
likely to
Ospreys
fall
are
out of the
great.
sky.
An
They're
Osprey
massive.
looks like if you put twin props on a Seahawk, or for the yeah.
It's a taller
Yeah,
rotor
like-
one.
That's a bird I will never get in. Hell
An
no.
Osprey? Oh, I love Ospreys.
They're more likely to fall out of the sky than they are to land.
The internet, but I don't know how much of that is true, you know?
Just ask
a lot of it
Hawaiian
in the
Marines.
beginning was because they pushed them through production too fast, but they're better now. They're not, they haven't had an Osprey crash in a really long time.
In about a year and a half.
That's a long time. This is the last time a Black Hawk fell. For a CH3.
Black Hawk,
They fall all the
April-ish.
time. Yeah, they fall all the time.
Apaches was
You know what you
Alaska.
call Apaches? We call the Apaches lawn darts because as soon as the rotor stops spinning, there's no counter rotation, there's no auto rotate. They just go like lawn darts, straight nose down. There's no saving them.
I wouldn't mind tanker, Jerry. Submarine, hell no.
What about like
Legitimate tuna can.
what about like a Cobra?
That's the Marines.
Not a
Navy?
passenger flight. No,
I know.
Cobra is Marines. Not
I
a
know,
passenger
but
flight.
so like I asked because like I surf at right off of Camp Pendleton, so I see all these, so I see all the marine equipment, and then if I drive down to San Diego and I surf Blacks, I see the Navy essentially, and like their jets that are. It's really really cool because it's you're sitting in a surf break and you're surfing and these jets are just the jet's way over there and the sound is like way back there and it's just they're just doing overhead flybys essentially as drills. It's cool.
I don't know. I would love to go flight. I put in a flight packet, but it got denied because of my back. I wanted to go fly an Apache or a Chinook.
Yeah, my two of my good friends they flew in the Navy. I think they flew Pavehawk. What is it? Is that
Pave Low.
Navy?
Pavlo.
Pay below is. We're not talking about pay below. I don't
What's
even
up,
know
Blake?
what pay below is.
I don't know what they flew,
Right,
but
Pavlo.
you know,
I don't know.
they're in the Navy. But is there like a way, in your opinion, to get recruiting back to?
You've got to bring honor back to the forces. You've got to stop putting the military in the news all the time for crazy shit.
Stop
the way
promoting
to bring-
shitheads.
That's the way to bring. Yeah, if you stop bringing in Here's the problem. It's as you lower your standards because there's lower recruiting numbers, you get shittier recruits.
They have a
As you get
fat
shittier
camp now.
recruits-
They have a camp for people that can't make the GT score.
There's hope for me.
Well, they had a fat camp before, but
So
the
you're
difference
saying
is
there's a chance.
so we called it Mighty Mo. If you were too fat to pass the PT test, you were pulled from your command, put into Mighty Mo or Mini Mo, depending on how overweight you were, and they PT'd your ass 5-6 times a day. And I'm not talking take you off push-ups and sit-ups. You literally would wake up, do 2 hours of PT, go to breakfast, come back, rest for an hour, go about, do 2 more hours of PT, for lunch, come back, rest for an hour, go out, do 2 more hours of PT, and by God, you lost some weight. Now it's like if you're overweight, they're like, okay, we're going to put you on the Fat Boy program, and you go out 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week to do your PT test, to do your re-PTs. So yeah, if you're gonna say the military is a fit fighting force, you have to mean it. I think that's
Yeah,
what it's
but-
falling.
Pretty chunky army nurses.
Well, that's because they don't demand. We used to joke about all the fat people you're gonna see in the military are either gonna be psychology doctors, nurses, or fiscal pay, finance. Because those are the guy nobody ever wants to mess with because they keep you well, they keep you sane, and they pay you.
Yeah.
Everybody else they had standards for, and literally psych doctors. On the outside, a good psych doctor can make $1 million a year. In the military, it's hard to get a guy and bring him in. That's why most of the psych doctors that are in the military are reservists. They do it just to get a tax write-off. How much money do you have to make in your civilian life to say when you reserve, you actually lose money and you can get a tax write-off for that?
I don't even
That's
spend
crazy.
50 a year so right now, so yeah.
Our psych doctor, when we deployed to go in '08, said he lost $600,000 while he was deployed. All that on his taxes. It's lost wages.
Yeah.
Hey. What?
Now for doctors, the military is a little more competitive. Like they have to up the pay to attract like actual medical talent.
Yeah.
Like they have a special pay chart for doctors.
Yeah, you'll see doctors come in. It's very common to bring a doctor in as a lieutenant colonel, a surgeon, colonel.
Yeah.
Psych doctor would not come in less than a major or a Navy commander.
And I'm just thinking, because where my mom works at Air Force Institute of Technology, PhD scientists, they're all colonels, majors. And I mean, they're PhD engineers teaching, it's a civil engineering school.
Yeah, this will make you laugh. So when I was in Norfolk, last time I was actually stationed in Norfolk, they were looking for volunteers to get breast augmentation because the doctors at the Navy Hospital in Portsmouth needed time under the knife, and the ones that were going for cosmetic surgery needed surgery time. So they were looking for people who were volunteering to get plastic surgery.
Oh,
shit.
you want to talk about a recruitment program?
That's why the military, giving them a line or not, the military, if you go into the dentist, I have never had a cavity in my life before or after my active duty. While I was on active duty, every time you come in, I would have perfect teeth, and they go, oh, you have a cavity. We need to drill and fill that, and we need to do a number 2 on that. We need to do this. We need to do that. Because they needed time. They needed their intern. They have to do so many procedures to keep their hours up.
That sounds
You come in-
illegal.
At the military, everything's legal in the military.
Everything's legal. I mean, yeah. But
Bleak,
then I
I-
realized, okay, well,
Okay, Bleak, I don't think you're gonna graduate from med school with straight D's.
You know what they call the guy who graduates the last in his medical class?
The dishonored graduate.
Doctor.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but I mean graduates, because I mean I say this as because Juice and I mean we both have master's degrees. You have to maintain like a B. Okay, you're at Steve too then. You've got to maintain a B to stay in the program and to
I finished
graduate.
with straight A pluses, and I still feel like a It was really
I
easy, or I just took to the content really well. But
Yeah.
to me,
I got my I
having
got my
the master's
associates
degree, I've
in
learned that doesn't fucking mean
in
shit.
computer science. I
does.
think I'm going to take a time out for a little while and not do college. Because I honestly, that's
I
the worst
literally-
part about being active duty. Yes, they give you tuition assistance, so they help pay while you're in. But having to onesie twosie classes is a
Oh, yeah,
pain in the
onesie.
ass.
You
Yeah.
have to do it on your
I
own
was
time.
just got the
between-
email today saying congratulations, your student loans are gone. I am not fucking signing up for more anytime soon. Let me
But
tell
to
you.
say it's the only reason why I've taken classes over the last couple of years is because I have tuition assistance. So other than like my textbook or anything else like I might need to get for the class, like the special calculator I had to get.
Can we take a quick pause and give a cheers to Kiefer?
Yeah, for
Dude,
real.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
Yes. We're doing the
I'm gonna have a
impossible.
wicked
Yeah.
party that it
You
comes.
beat the system, brother.
Speaking of which, I
Mine
need
still
to
look
go get
good.
enough.
So while we're sitting here, Sydney, what are you doing?
Yes, I promised everybody that Sid had a show for us tonight.
That's so specific. So, I'm making rings.
Lord of the
Yep.
Rings, I love it.
Yeah. Actually, I had an order come in today, right before the podcast, so I wanted to be
Have a
sure
good
I
one,
could
Julie.
actually, like, make this ring and also be part of the podcast. So,
Yeah, I was actually taking a look at a few of them on your Instagram last night. They're
Oh, I
really
totally
cool.
forgot to do that. Did you guys see the picture or the video of me smashing the watermelon inside of the helmet?
I haven't been
I
on
thought you were
Instagram
going
much
to say
today.
smashing a watermelon between your thighs. I was like,
You know
I
what,
did
that's
not
what
see
Mike
that
said,
video,
but-
but I want to go back and look at it.
It's gonna
That-
come next, but how do you smash it within a helmet?
That's on the spicy link, by the way.
They gave us a sledgehammer. It was a bike night ran that this motorcycle dealership runs in Flemington, New Jersey, and they had this little competition to see if people could smash through a helmet with a sledgehammer and destroy a melon that was inside. So that was a lot of fun.
Says
And Sid wins.
Destructive testing.
I did. You know what? It was pretty hard to do though.
You
They-
should have
yeah,
used
I
your
would hope
thighs.
that would actually be difficult.
I.e.,
Well,
Yeah.
everybody beware of Sid.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll send you guys the link in the chat. Oh, so good.
Speaking of which, I'm going to be kind of, sort of in your neck of the woods a little bit next weekend.
I don't know if I'm traveling
So-
next weekend, but if I'm
Yeah.
not, you want to hang out.
Yep. So where I'm gonna be. So for anybody who might be following my doings around, there is or was a big meetup / chopper camp out that happens every year in Freiburg, Maine. It was supposed to be next weekend, but we were informed, I think Thursday, that the campground that was the venue for this place was shut down by the state of Maine and can no longer operate at this time. So the boys from Tewksbury, or maybe they're in Tingsboro, I don't know, somewhere in Mass. But the boys from Mass had to run around and try to find another venue last minute, and they got their asses in a van and drove out to a place in East Durham, New York, which is sort of near the Catskills, and go inquire about a campground there. And that is where we're going. We are going to the Blackthorn Resort, I believe it's called, for the Deadbeat Retreat. So if anybody's in that area and wants to ride motorcycles, look at choppers, and kill a few brain cells, that's where you should be.
I want to do all that, but I don't have to go to New York to do it.
No,
I'm just saying,
I
isn't
don't know what to do it. I need the time to do that though. Yeah.
isn't the Catskills
every-
around
Will
Everyone
we
where
like-
eventually make it to Laconia?
isn't the Catskills around where they have Babes Ride Out?
Yes,
that I do not know.
it is.
I've never been invited.
Yeah,
I'm
me
gonna
either.
invite myself.
I'll get you a wig.
just for one weekend, I'm gonna identify as a hot biker chick, and I'm going.
Fucking
I don't
do
even
it.
think
Yeah.
you need to identify as a hot biker chick. You just
Well,
identify
actually-
as a biker chick.
Oh yeah.
Aaron
So,
and
Oh no,
I-
if I'm gonna be a chick, I'm gonna be hot. I'm not.
You're already
nothing
hot,
back.
Rainy.
Hold nothing back.
Rainy, you're already hot.
Thanks,
But
boss.
the
Thanks, hon.
the thing Aaron and I were talking about was possibly setting up a biker meetup called Aaron. What was it called? It was basically all the guys that can't go to Babes. They're gonna camp across the river,
Oh,
and so
fucking
I don't know if you know what
Here's
the
right out.
bra,
bra.
bra.
Yeah,
but
bra.
BRAH, bra,
Shenanigans.
Bruh.
bra.
Shenanigans. I love
If
it.
you could
gotta-
change
I
it
like
to
that.
BRUH, just call it bruh.
No,
But,
bra,
Bruh.
bra, because people are gonna hear it and think bra like what women wear, but then you add that H on the end, like bruh, like really,
Bruh.
like really bruh, because we're kind of a small amount of a joke out of it.
That makes
That's
sense
all
because
fine.
first time I heard bro, I thought it was a biker meetup for dudes.
Yeah,
So yeah, so we should call
The
it
irony,
bra.
the irony, it's called Babes Right Out, but they
We should call
abbreviate it to bro.
We'll call it the bra hangout, and then people will think it's a lot of topless chicks at a biker rally, and they'll all show up, and we can just charge them admission.
Well then,
And I'll just be wearing a skateboard deck. So
Cold drinks, topless bartenders, and false
That's-
advertising.
That'll turn
And for
into
this-
a
Oh,
skateboard deck.
And for
they're
this,
getting something.
Playing the air guitar on it.
Stroke me, stroke me. Where's Goon? That would be the song to play because it's a song about playing guitar. It's not about anything else. But
tell a 14-year-old that.
yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, that song came out when I was in my early teens, and I was sure it was a song about having sex.
I always thought it was like about like business, about how it's all like kind of cutthroat, you know, whatever, and it's about impressing people, or trying to anyway.
I feel bad that Goon missed that. I think he got a kick out of it.
You're gonna fat shit.
Side note, so Sydney, serious question. So where you're going to be going next weekend, is that something I can get excited about?
I don't know. I gotta check my calendar.
Because if it is, you need to tell me, because I've already bought all the tickets for the people who are coming.
Oh no, it's gonna have to be for something else.
That's 2 weeks out.
I was gonna say that's a couple weeks out anyways.
That's it.
Because
That's
you're,
the weekend.
Mike, you're coming somewhere else next weekend.
Next weekend, I will go to visit another fellow bald dude, and I'm going to pack his trailer.
Ooh.
He's gonna pack it. He's gonna
The
pack
kids
it
don't want it
hard.
now.
He's gonna put his head down. He's just gonna pack that trailer so full of stuff.
So
He's
yes,
just
this will
gonna
be
fill that trailer up to the brim.
this will
Hey,
be the
good friends
last
will help you
weekend
move.
that all this is still here. The second to last Weirdos Assemble. That
Man.
I'll be hosting this way. Yeah.
So what?
We'll be
So what
having-
happens after 2 weeks?
Aaron or Mike will probably take over hosting.
Aaron, I think, volunteered. I'll have to, if I'm going to do it, I'll have to get
Or was
access.
he?
I can give you access. That's not a problem.
Okay. I don't have any problem doing it. I'll get access.
oh yeah, you can give it to him.
Yeah, because
Aaron's like, I don't want to fucking. He's like,
Bro,
Not Aaron
I
wanted to
just
do it.
I just looked at my schedule, and from here until like the end of October, every weekend is a mess. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun figuring things out.
Speaking of
Okay.
messes, tomorrow morning I'm heading to Little Sturgis. It's a
I
town
want
that has.
something from there.
I'm going to get you and Goon something. Yeah, it's a town that has the population of 250 people, and they said there's going to be 10,000 people there. So Carson, the adventure writer, called me a while ago and said he was going to be there, and I have no idea how we're going to find each other in a town that's small enough to fit 250 people that they're going to fit 50 times that in it. So that should be fun.
Yeah, you'll probably
You
have a
just
hard
missed
time
Michigan by
getting
me
spots.
actually too. I wonder
Biggest
if
game of
states
Marco
have a
Polo
Sturgis.
ever.
Is this a new thing or?
So Little Sturgis has been happening. So Sturgis, Kentucky has been doing it for probably 20 years. Sturgis, Mississippi has been doing it for probably 10 years. Because why get left out? So now Sturgis has been the last 2 weekends. So Kentucky Sturgis does it the weekend before Big Sturgis. Sturgis, Mississippi does it the weekend after Sturgis. Probably people who obviously can't go 7,000 miles to go see a bunch of drunk bikers on buffaloes.
Don't pet the
Little
hairy
Sturgis
cows.
party last weekend, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try to make Little Sturgis, Kentucky next year.
What is Sturgis when it's not the rally?
I was
yeah.
fixing to say, Aaron, where did you get all those fucking monitors from? Now I feel like I've been duped.
Yeah, it's a backdrop, so you guys don't see
Damn,
my
you have
nasty
changed your room. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
He's
it's
gone
so you guys
hacker
don't see
on
my nasty, messy office. I need to clean.
I don't mind. Here's my office. There it is.
This is the one place that
was
doesn't
totally
have
like-
boxes everywhere right now.
I was totally willing to believe that you built a secret mad scientist lair in your basement. It seems like something you'd do.
Oh no, I don't go down there. It's infested with spiders.
Oh,
Last time I was there, it was
Spiders
infested
and
with
friends.
broken road kings.
Ooh, not in the basement.
No, it's not a road king no more. It's a broke king.
Broke
What's
King,
wrong
get it
with the
right.
Road King? Where have we got?
I was wondering if that sensor was able to fix it, or you just really haven't got around to
Have
it
the
yet.
sensor. I've been afraid to get into it for fear that it's more than that. And then I knew I was going out of town, so I really just didn't want to dive into it and then walk away.
Have that
for-
on your brain.
Like, more so just like the way I work. If I don't pick up on something like a bit after I set it down, that could be a problem. You've seen, hopefully you've seen some of my videos about like the KZ400, KZ440. Those are entering basket case like permanent territory.
It's where the CB750
So I don't want to do that with
right
a
now.
bike I still have payments on.
Go somewhere
Yeah.
and buy like 10 milk crates, and they're pretty cheap. They're like $20 a piece for these milk crates, which seems expensive, but it's not really. Anytime you take something apart, put a pillowcase or a sheet inside it, put everything inside that milk crate, or get a shelf. That's what usually the dealers do. They'll put a shelf, get a shelf up with little plastic bins from Harbor Freight. Anything you take off the bike, put it in that bin.
This
Bag it,
is
tag
why
it.
I'm
Yeah, like
saving the
boxes and
garage
boxes of
for
shit.
when Aaron and Mike get here. Because that place is absolute chaos right now.
I was expecting everything to be ready to just throw up on the trailer when I got there.
It 99% of it will be. It's that 1% that I'll still probably be working on.
So do I need to bring boxes, or is this going to be a motorcycle trip?
Unless you want to buy this weight set that I need to get rid of.
I could probably get it on the sports trip.
Not a weight set.
Maybe not.
I sold my
No.
weight set that I had for like 2 years, and I took.
you might need a gold one.
Yeah, you might need a gold wing.
Oh, so funny story.
Might need a couple.
Bonita.
Maybe a gold wing truck.
My boss moved here from New York. Sold his motorcycle before he came down.
Sorry,
And
guys.
when he got here, because everybody told him, "Oh, you're going to Memphis, you'll get killed." He's from upstate New York, around Schenectady. So they told him, "You're moving to Memphis? Yeah, you need to sell your bike because you'll get killed on it." And then when he got here, we're actually in Mississippi, and there's prime riding road. There's nothing but as soon as you get across Tennessee line into Mississippi, it's open wide road. So he's like, "I need a motorcycle." So I took him to the Harley dealer today and introduced him to all my friends there. And he sat on probably 4 or 5 bikes. I made good videos. Now he in the beginning he's like, "Yeah, I don't really want to spend more than $5,000." Then I started sending him pictures. He's, "Yeah, I don't want to spend more than $7,000." Now his limit's up to like $20,000. But he sat on a bunch of $35,000, $40,000 motorcycles today. So I'm gonna keep pushing him and get him into a bike. So.
Has he ridden before? Or
Yeah, he
is
had a
like
motorcycle when he lived up in upstate New York. But before he moved here, they told him, "Yeah, you're moving to Memphis, you'll get killed on a motorcycle. You need to get rid of it." So he's like, "Well, I'm moving anyway. I'll just get rid of it." Mistake.
It sounds like a weird thing to do because someone told you to do it.
Probably it was like in the back of his mind, he was probably going, "Yeah, I am about to move, 2 households because his girlfriend lived up there too, so he's moving everybody here and the kids." He's probably thinking easier to sell the bike, get down there, buy another bike than to try to trailer it or to make 3 or 4 trips to try to get everything and then ride the motorcycle down.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
sometimes that is
shorten the
actually-
load?
But
I don't know anything about Memphis, but the last time I was in Tennessee outside of Nashville, I saw freaking Harleys everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I was riding. So.
Even in Memphis, you see bikes all over the place. I mean, granted, so I don't know how many of y'all saw this, but Whiskey Chaser actually stayed at a hotel that's like 5 miles from my house, but up in Tennessee. It was in a slum. That's the whole Elvis Presley block there. There's a bunch of slum hotels and drug houses. But you cross into Mississippi, at Quarter Valley into Mississippi, is the most pristine, awesome hotels. Everything's nice, everything's pretty. There's woods, and it's back roads. But he literally stayed in the worst part of Tennessee, and he was only a few miles from my house. I was like, dude, you should have just came to my house. Not realizing how close I actually was.
He does that. He came all the way up to not yeah, but the year before he came all the way up to Laconia and he was staying at one of the hotels near Tilton, and I was like, dude, I got 2 freaking castles up here. Why don't you just stay at one of them, you ding dong?
I think he just doesn't want to impose. I get it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, Japanese
like that.
hospitality. You got to ask 3 times before somebody actually takes you seriously and will take you up on an offer. You should never.
Right.
relent
I'll give you a
the
good
first 2
example
times.
though. It was February in Wisconsin. 15th of February. 2 degrees
The
outside.
warmest month
We were at
of the
Mama
year.
Tried. The ground. We rented a hotel room like a normal fucking person would do from out of state. It was like, no, it's fine. I got that. What's that? The Forerunner, the Toyota. He's like, I want to camp in it. I'm like, are you sure? Like,
It's February.
22 degrees outside. He's like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. I think he probably froze his ass off, but he'll never admit to it.
I'm sure he was going to do the same at Father Barber's too, because we were like, the basement in Father Barber's is pretty big, and it's got a giant fold-out couch. But if you fold the couch up, there's a huge room down there, and there's nothing there but he's got a weight room. He's got some weights, a TV that hangs on the wall, and then that fold-out couch. And he's like, no, we'll just sleep out in the Forerunner. And I'm like, there's plenty of room. He goes, no, we actually want to try to sleep in the Forerunner. And I'm like, you really don't. But
I
whatever.
think it's like doing like a trial run sort of thing with both of them.
Yeah, but when it's 22?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, even at Father Bobber's,
Fucking
sleeping in a car in the winter is a bad idea. I've had to take a nap before and just no.
Side note, was that meetup up at Bronco the coolest meetup ever, or what?
That was fun.
I had so much fun.
You just got one of the limited
Throttle.
edition shirts.
They still had them there too.
Get him.
Last bike night. So
Yeah. But they're
The
one-time
Pride
print shirts. Yep. The
She's gonna get
rainbow.
more. She's trying to sell them all because, of course, Dinah got one because I was like, hell yeah, I'll get one. So
I
I
wish
didn't
I'd
get
been
one.
able to
The only
grab
reason I
one.
didn't is because I've been waiting for the I Heart Motorcycles one or the I Heart Vintage forever, and she's always out of them. And so I actually had to go up there and get it to get one. So I had to have that shirt.
I'll eventually make my way.
Steve
up
would
there and get
say
some.
I Heart Vintage, and the I is a spark plug. The heart is a heart made out of motorcycle chain, and then vintage below it. Been in love with that shirt for a year. I had to go there in person to get it.
I gave Nicole a sticker.
Well, I'm actually wearing the blanks right now.
Nice.
That well, no. You have
Take off your shirt.
just the,
Take off
no,
your
no,
shirt.
you just have the fitment. I told you that was just to get the sizing right. This is the actual. This is the actual from the mill.
Is that the red stitching I see? I like
There's
it.
gonna, so this is not the red I chose. Well, this is what the one they chose for the first round. I'm going a little bit darker, and so all the shirts are going to have red stitching. It's called taping, but
Crimson.
yeah, it's like a burgundy. Looks really good.
Hey, Aaron.
But
Aaron. Aaron.
I could definitely see it. It's the it's probably like the nicest shirt I own. It's like I took my like a true classic shirt and then made it so it's not so tight and like skin tight.
Guys.
So it's got shoulders and it's got some length to it too. Like it's a good shirt.
Okay, 1 second, Steve. I think Yankee froze on us.
It's
Nah,
good.
he just
Yeah.
It's just giving a good sniff.
He's trying to show how much weight he's lost in his neck. Serious though, has he not lost an assload
has.
of weight? He's a hot little motherfucker now. He has lost a shitload of weight.
Alright,
No
I
kidding.
love him. He can join back in.
Careful, Rainy. Your Navy's showing.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm like, I know.
You know, I was thinking that when he was trying to get Steve to take off his shirt, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, so I was gonna tell. So Steve, can you sing? Can you do karaoke?
I mean, I feel like anybody can do karaoke.
Not without me.
You should.
So March.
like anybody can physically do karaoke as long as they can read. They can do
That's
karaoke.
tall order a lot of the time.
Tradition now at Forgotten Angels is when you do karaoke and you're a guy, you have to take your shirt off when you get on stage.
That was only one time so far.
It'll be forever now.
If it's tradition,
I
it's
didn't
tradition.
Have to do that.
It was
Tradition, tradition.
See, I didn't take my shirt off on stage. I took it off before I went up.
Well,
And the
Aaron,
next thing that
when
happened
we-
was someone
when
gave
we
me
do
a
a
shot and
duet-
slapped the shit out of me.
when we do a
No, see,
duet
I
next
totally
March,
took
you're
mine
doing it.
off.
Do you not remember? I was playing my video game, but yeah, the Cindy's like, you're gonna have to take your shirt off, and I was like, what? Okay, and I didn't pay any attention. Then when I got up there, everybody's chanting to take my shirt off, and I was like, oh, okay. And then the girl took hers off too. That blew me away. I turned around, she pulled her shirt off, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah. Barbie took hers off.
Barbie went up with me because she picked a song. So David had, I don't know how many of y'all had got in on that. Juice, you know about this, but the first dude that got up there sang a really nasty song.
Alt 45 by Afro Man.
And so David said, no more. I'm going to look through all the songs, and any song that I deem questionable, you're not singing. She had picked some song, and I can't remember what it was, and so David crossed it out. So she's waiting to get on before me, and she gets up there, and she goes, they marked my song off. I'm like, it's fine, you can go up with me, you can sing some of my songs. And she's like, okay, so Barbie gets up. Barbie is very high-strung. Steve, you got to understand this girl. She's very high-strung. She's about...
I don't know who this person is.
She's 5'2", and she's like a little sprite. If you can imagine Tinkerbell, he's like Tinkerbell, jumping all over the place. She follows me on stage. They start yelling.
Like, what's her association with?
Forgotten Angels.
Group.
Somebody that comes at Forgotten Angels.
Apparently, she's our mascot now. I guess I don't know. But she was at Forgotten Angels. She's the girl who I had to bandage up because she also has, I think, cerebral palsy or something. She doesn't have any nerves below her waist. She got on a motorcycle, slid off of it, and she could walk and everything fine. She just couldn't feel it. So she burned the side of her leg down like into the muscle. And me and Parker, which is Whiskey Chaser's girlfriend, had to bandage her up. So after I bandaged her up, then she was like following me around all over the place because it was probably my fault because I kept telling her about every couple hours I wanted to check her leg. But she follows me on stage and she's a little high strung and they start yelling for me to take my shirt off. I turn around, she took her shirt off too.
She had a tank top on underneath.
She
So she
had
took, like, her
she
outer
had
vest there.
a sports bra, no tank top.
Oh.
And again, anyway, it took me by surprise. When I turned around and all I saw was a bra, I was like, well, okay. And
I think there weren't any cameras.
oh,
Oh wait.
yeah, no, yeah. It was only
Oh,
8
wait a
cameras.
minute.
How many people come to the March one?
March one?
Year.
That's
Like
probably
between
gonna be
200 and 400.
Yeah.
So I-
March
Is that
one
many
is-
people?
Say, I
March one is
think,
usually the smaller one, and then the October one's the big one.
Well, I
But
said
this last October or last March, we had probably 400 people there easy.
Well, that's
let's
because
say-
we were doing the. Well, no, the wedding was last October.
Yeah.
say March
Yeah.
2022, which was I believe most of our first Forgotten Angels camp out. I know at least mine.
Big.
I think they had at one point over 300 people.
And yet, you
But
and I
I-
never ran into each other once.
No, not once at March, and then for like 10 seconds at the wedding in October.
Yeah.
But the
Sid,
issue that
however, was my potato cooking partner in last October.
Yep. Now, the issue that happened last March is a bunch of people told literally any biker they saw, "Hey, we're all at this place. It's free camping, free beer, and it's a party." So we had a lot of people show up that were not there for the charity, that were showing up because they heard it was a big biker meetup with free camping and free beer, which led to some of the
There
yeah,
were people that got told to leave.
there was people were
And someone
told-
got the sheriff called on them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Surprising.
I didn't see that, but I believe you.
Cindy is definitely the den mother there.
Oh yeah, you don't.
And so
Don't piss off
Cindy
den
keeps
mother.
things under control. Do not piss Cindy off. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman. Do not get on her bad side.
Now, last October, I believe was actually under 100 people, mostly because it was not just for the charity, but it was also for David and Cindy's wedding.
There was still like 250 people.
Yeah, there were still a fuckload of people there, bro.
There was, you figure, so there's two different kinds of crowds there, Steve. You've got the campers with the tents, and then you've got RV guys, and then you got the guys that live around anywhere within like 2 or 3 hours of Tampa, and they drive in. So, or ride. But the
And they
bigger
ride
party
out
is
every day?
the tents. Yeah, they come out every day. And then usually they'll all stay on, the ones that drive every day or ride in, usually all stay on Saturday night. Because that's the big party, is Saturday. And anyone with a lick of common sense will not try to drive home after the Saturday meetup, because the Saturday meetup usually goes to like 1 or 2 in the morning.
And,
'Cause we
Jerry is very correct. There will be none of
No
that
more
anymore.
dildo jousting.
Dildo jousting is
Yeah, that's officially
I-
retired.
I still think
Rip
everyone.
dildo jousting.
I still think everyone should get lightsabers, and we just start, riding around like we're on the
On
the
Groms.
land cruisers, or Groms would be fine, and just have at it.
I haven't collected.
Or
I can bring my
we just get
katanas.
one. Let's say we just get one really big group fund together and get as many.
Prompts?
No, cheaper than Groms ruckuses. Get a bunch of cheap Honda ruckuses, put some knobbies on them, and then start doing Mario Kart.
Steal my shit, but cheaper. No, dude. Groms with knobbies. Let's go.
Steve,
I
did you
don't
change
know,
your
man,
colors?
I like those rockets. They kind of do something for me.
Wait, so Juice, yours is like Grom King Kong, right?
Damn.
And Jerry's is
Spirit of Knievel.
Captain
Spirit of
America.
Knievel. And
Oh, Spirit of Knievel, that's
there's also one in Florida called Gromzilla, if I'm not mistaken.
Didn't Jerry
That's
have
part of the
two?
reason mine is named Grom King Kong, actually.
Jerry has two. He has
Okay.
the yellow one, and he has Spirit of Knievel, I
Navi,
think.
yeah. It's the 50cc Navi.
See, I'm still thinking the ruckuses because they're cheaper. Probably have an easier time getting them used for a lower cost than the Grom. $1,000
I still love that
Yeah, that's
Rowdy
still not
broke the
cheap, though. I'd
exhaust
rather
on
just get
Spirit
the
of
Grom,
Knievel.
not gonna lie.
for used.
My brother,
That'll always start,
two
yeah.
board, small wheels. Small bore, 2 wheels. I know he's a ruckus guy, I'm pretty sure, but
Oh,
dude,
Lord.
Grom Squad.
But they also have like there's the big ruckus, which was like either a 250 or 300.
Hi, Diana.
Hi, Diana.
Hi, Diana.
The
Oh,
clone.
hi, clone.
I was just saying, okay, it's a sword. I thought it was like a.
And it's not a
Claymore.
Flamberge.
This is the longest claymore ever. What? Yeah.
Let it be known the clone has studied the blade.
Oh, the clone has her own blades.
The clone wants to use a special axe she has for when someone breaks in. I
The
believe
clone
it's
has her own
chrome red.
weapons.
Yeah, you should show her the
Bring me your
shining
assault
and
hatchet.
tell her this could be you. This could be you.
He's already told anybody that knows her is already scared of me, and then when they find out that how many knives and swords and hatchets and things.
She
are in
wants
his
to be a
house.
mortician.
She wants to be a mortician. Yeah.
I'd say she wants to be Dexter Morgan, but okay.
So this is hers. She does. So this is hers.
Combat hatchet.
That
This is
chrome
the-
red.
Mark 48 combat hatchet. And she
Wait.
literally.
And
It's
the
like,
little
so if someone
black
breaks into my
apple
room,
here.
I can kill him right with the hatchet. And I'm like, yeah, okay. She's
That's-
excited for somebody to break in. You know those memes like where Tim Kennedy does that they're excited for people to break into their house? She really is.
I'll still do what I did the first time I thought someone kicked in my door. I'll run out with my pew pew and my lightsaber in hand and my undies.
No, you go just
Lightsaber.
birthday suit, bro.
I
Yeah,
actually work with
seriously,
somebody who.
If you're gonna do it, you do it right. Free swinging, bro.
She has
I-
this techno sword.
I don't got time
Here's-
to put anything on.
Whatever.
Years ago, I worked with this old guy who somebody was breaking into his house, and he went out and
I love it.
he went out with the scatter gun and shot a guy, and he was naked. You know, just what do? You wake up, you throw your dick over your shoulder, and then you got a shotgun, you know?
You got the attack helicopter. Helicopter.
Hey,
Oh, hey, Mike. Next,
She brought all her
I
knives
did
in there.
actually one
she's
time I
got the
was up
kunai
the,
too.
I
I
can't
was,
see
at
anything.
the hunting cabin.
Mike,
Yeah, I
next
can't
March, we'll do Blood on the Risers during karaoke.
Blood on the risers. Okay. I'll find it.
On the risers, there were brains within
Shut
the
up.
shoe.
I think I'm karaoke'd out. I don't know if I can get on
No,
stage
your
anymore.
ass is getting a
Aaron,
party.
Aaron, you set a really high bar.
After the honka tonk one with everyone jumping on stage, I don't think I can top that.
So I'll be honest, man. Your backup singers, fucking boss. There was so much ass.
Oh
on
yeah,
stage.
yeah, that
Oh,
was.
yeah. The dancers jump on stage. Let's see, we had Jack, Cammy, Mandy, and I can't remember his name, but it's Tori's
got up there.
boyfriend. Yeah, hot cowboy guy is how I know him.
Kiefer,
He's
yeah.
always wearing a cowboy hat and shirtless.
He's a barber. Did you know
Oh
that?
yeah, what's his name?
With Mike.
They all jumped on
Yeah,
stage and
same.
started shaking ass. I'm just like, all right, that works well with the song.
Yeah, just I think it's with Josh's reel or whatever about it. It's just like half of it's Mandy's butt.
Yep. Yep. And then Jess picked up Cammy and threw her on stage front and center.
That was entertaining. Do you know
Yeah.
I'm still getting about 100 hits a month on Cammy's video from a year ago?
Where you interviewed her?
I interviewed her. I did literally like a 3-minute interview with her and her new Ducati.
That was this past March.
That's-
That wasn't a year ago.
Okay. But that's
Yeah.
still getting, so that was
Yeah.
count for me. I'm still getting 100 views a month on that, but it's got 17,000 views on it now.
I mean,
Damn.
your and Steve's interview randomly got me 3 subscribers, so.
Well, yeah. Well, I give you a.
Hear the
what were
Lord.
what were the analytics like online? If it was just like a.
It was,
It was, I think it's probably still climbing. So it's-
Speaking
Say,
of
I think that
subscribers,
one's
I've
gonna
got
like
12.
it's gonna continue to hit for a while.
What's going on, JD?
Yeah, Jerry wants a combat hatchet, and you
I
know
do
what?
too.
I think I do too.
I mean, I have one, but it's not like pointy like that one.
I showed her how to wrap the handle. I showed her how to do 550 braid, and she literally was just wrapping everything for a while.
It's acceptable.
So yeah, it still has an upward trend. It's got not as many views as I wanted right now. It's had 125 views in the last 48 hours. It's got how many can I tell?
Never got the email that the push.
I didn't get it either.
Well, it wasn't an email; it was a push notification. So it's like when people say allow push notification
Oh.
On your phone.
when you go to the site. No, not on your phone. On your I guess on your computer. So when those, nobody uses them, I guess, but somehow I have a shit ton of them. where people say, yes, I'm going to allow this person to send me push notifications on my phone. And I'm
Or
like,
is
who's
it
gonna
like
fucking
your
do?
browser?
Yeah, it's your browser. And I'm like, no one's gonna do that. And then all of a sudden, like, it's like $20 a month for the service. It's called Push Owl. And I sent it out to 16,000 people. Now, not everyone's sitting at their computer. It was kind of late when we started. It was like 9 o'clock on your time, which is basically the majority of people. So no one's really sitting at the computer. You're not going to get it on your phone. A couple people did come in. People did purchase. So overall it was entertaining. I don't know.
Good one.
I
Mine
watched
too,
it
Jerry.
back. Huh?
Oh, Jerry's like, orange is my favorite color. It's like, mine too.
Yeah, I watched it back just to see how much of an asshole I came off as.
I didn't think he came up as an asshole. I enjoyed it.
That was
Good- good
Wednesday
feedback.
evening, and I was outside.
He
It was a
touching grass.
nice evening. Yeah, actually laying on it for a while and kneeling on it, and yeah, I was doing yard work, which has
Right.
been much needed, and auto maintenance.
Probably a good decision.
Few breaks in my truck. Real bad.
I wish I didn't have so many conference calls and stuff with work, because I used to, back in the day before I got promoted and stuff, I could sit back and I would just have my tablet constantly streaming stuff while I was working for my background noise and, well, sanity. But yeah, now I spend at least half of my day in Teams calls, and
Oh, you
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, so you kind of
Sucks, dude.
streamed out by the end of the day.
yeah, and I also, at the same time, need to get up and move around and touch grass every once in a while.
I feel you.
Smoke grass, dude.
What's up?
So I like the smoke grass. I don't care about touching it.
Well,
I didn't say that. That's not what that means.
All right. Well, on that note, I think it's about time we wrap up for tonight. We'll move on to the after show.
Yeah.
So we'll start with closing thoughts. We'll start with Bruiser.
Don't get too caught up in making a living to live.
All right, fair enough. Aaron.
If you want to get an amazing looking handmade ring by one of our very own podcasters, please contact Seven Sentinel, because you, too, can go to Sentinel.
Hey, rock hand.
Oh, thank you.
Mike, when you're done with your meds, old man.
Go ahead. But I'm sorry.
Final
Let's
thoughts.
go that. Oh, are we over already?
We're closing up. We're moving on to the after
Um,
show.
Oh, cool. So yeah, as I always say in all my stuff, remember that we're all here on this earth together, so we're here to help each other. So, just because you're not getting along with somebody doesn't mean you have to be an asshole back to them if they're being an asshole to you. So, let's all live together. It's a small world. Say hello to everyone you meet. Maybe the best thing happens to them all day.
Miss Sid.
If you want a ring. No, but seriously, make sure to take some time this weekend to just kind of relax and get your head all straightened out of some of the stresses that have accumulated over the weeks. Make sure to get out and ride. Your bike loves you, it misses you. You should ride more.
My bike
That's
needed to hear
definitely
that.
I needed to hear that.
All right, Steve.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to punish myself before I go on a ride. So, like, I see it as like, all right, you can't have fun until you go and run 5 miles, and then you can go ride the bike. because I ride the same trails that I run. So, but we're having a hurricane in like a day, like a cat.
California hurricane.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy.
What? Oh, I thought you were bullshitting. You're for real. Okay.
Hurricane
Wow.
Hillary.
No.
Hurricane
Don't they
Hillary.
call that a typhoon?
Okay, yeah, I was about to ask the same question. I was like, aren't they called typhoons on that side?
That's Japan.
Oh, man.
I think they go the other direction, typhoons. But no, like that's coming this weekend, so I'll be watching that from my office. Yeah, I think, just in general, like everything seems super important at the time, and you gotta kind of stop and realize that. Don't take things ultra seriously. And you've only got a certain amount of fucks to give. Like, you don't need to be tossing them out like candy. Like, you should really have like maybe like 3 or 4 things that you truly give a fuck about. And like one of them is, family, friends, close things. And you've got like 3 left. So choose your fucks carefully.
I was about to say, I think I usually run out of my annual quota of fucks to give sometime in the first week of March.
Well, it's just important to remember that it's like, all right, do you really have that strong of opinion to go on social media and say that thing? Because if you do, you have too many fucks, and you're just dishing them out. You're just dishing them out, and they mean nothing. So reduce the amount of fucks.
Behold the field upon which I grow thine fucks, and you shall see
is
that
barren.
it is
It's
barren.
barren.
I am black on fucks, Ghost
Now
Rider.
shall
Black
see
on
it barren.
fucks to give.
I've actually been able to gesture towards an empty cornfield in the wintertime and use that phrase. Behold the field in which I grow my fucks, and there it is. That it is barren.
And
do
like,
that right
Thank
now.
you, JD.
And like, I know when I go on a Rainy Rider podcast, I told them I was going to talk about whatever I wanted. And when I was talking about the fact that we're most likely living in a simulation, and it's just as probable as any other explanation for how the universe exists, that's entirely likely. So the fact that you would,
Non-zero
I mean,
chance.
yeah, and it's like, okay, give me something else that's more plausible, and show me the evidence.
Deja vu is just a glitch in the system.
We're already creating AI that is probably going to create its own AI in like 5 years, and it's just gonna keep going. So, yeah, the hurt still hurts. The simulation feels pretty real sometimes, but in the end, you can't take it with you. You can't take anything with you. So enjoy it.
Hell yeah. Juice?
I don't know how to follow all this positive shit because, like, a week, man, and today especially, but I was prepared to just be like, life sucks, then you die, and then just done. But no, honestly, I'm really thankful for you all. I really needed this tonight, hang out with you all, and give opinions, get my this headspace.
The 2
with you
guys
all,
in the
so-
bottom are going to be partying with me next weekend.
weeks, but yeah.
Huh? Where am I
Jack
at?
Daniels meeting.
Where am I at in relation? Because I'm here. I'm up top left.
Yeah,
You're below me.
top left. I mean,
You're
yeah.
going too. Oh yes, that's right.
To the
Okay, so what
bottom
about the
right over
tickets?
here.
I gave plenty notice to who's coming, so I got the final notices on who's coming and bought all the tickets.
Go drink some Jack Daniels.
It is the best shit. We got the Angels
Mm-hmm.
Share tour. It is the top shelf Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
they
we gotta
have.
figure out where they
It's
put all the
freaking amazing.
violence in it.
We're gonna love it.
Yep.
We're
All
gonna
right.
take a drunken stroll across the river.
Nice.
Go ahead.
Papa Yankee.
So, I came up with a new saying for me recently. Because don't let me fool you. At my heart, I'm still just a cringy emo 13-year-old. I never really grew out of that. But I've just been thinking a lot. Like we all ride, and there's no getting around it. Riding is fucking dangerous. It's just the fact of it. There's a very high chance that something bad could happen, but we all choose to do it anyway because, well, we take that risk. It's kind of
Yes,
sketchy, and I was gonna actually. I picked up a random quarter that I just had sitting on my desk because I was gonna, make that kind of cliche point about,
On a roll.
life and death, two
Hear us
sides of the
either,
same
though.
coin, but they're really the same thing. I did actually randomly notice. I don't know if you guys can see it.
The end of the
It's probably upside down. I don't think it's coming through
Seriously.
super well, but this quarter
I could hear him.
I happen to have is I
can't hear a
believe
thing.
It's the North Carolina State quarter. So this is the one that
Yeah,
has the Wright
translate.
brothers on it.
Yeah, it's the
So
North Carolina State quarter.
can you guys not hear me?
No.
They're
They can't.
struggling to hear it.
No, I can hear him
Like
fine.
I have
can
like
hear you
nothing.
fine.
I'm not hearing anything.
Huh.
I think it's just an
All right,
overall rainy
well,
problem.
Then at that point, I'll
It's-
basically just.
I'm
like,
listening. You can
top it
keep
off with my
going.
Final thing. I'll get rid of all the
It's
Get rid of
quite
all the
beautiful.
bullshit. guys.
Beautiful.
What we do is dangerous, but it's all that dealing in life and death, but it's the same thing. To live fearing death is to die fearing life.
Hold
So
on.
remember that one.
Yankee. To live fearing death
Yep.
is to die fearing life.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he said that earlier on the Discord. Yes, absolutely.
I can't
Is that
follow any
like
of
the-
this up, y'all.
Wait, no, but like, is that an original? Because I have a
don't
couple.
know.
No, because I have a couple Steve originals, but that one's pretty good.
Yeah, it just popped into my head the other week when I was looking at my new sissy bar with the skull on it. I don't know, all that kind of just swam into my head. I mean, it's kind of the same thing as I saw an ad for like a pendant you can buy, and on one side it says Memento Mori, which is remember you must die, but on the other side I want to say, what did it say, like Memento Vivere or something like that, which also means remember to live. So remember that you must die, but also remember to live. Swam into my head. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I saw an ad for,
The old man's going back to listen to it.
on one side it says
I can hear him on
Memento
YouTube,
Mori,
but
which
not
is,
on our
remember
podcast.
you must die. On the other side, I want to say, what did it say, like Memento?
All right. Well, I can't follow any of this up, with the exception of one thing. Violence is always an option. Generally, the best answer, but it's always an option.
Tell me you're in the army without telling me you're in the army.
I'm not a Marine. I have higher standards.
Hands aren't that tasty. Also, as I was about to say,
I
what do
don't
we say
like
to the
crayons.
god of death? What do we
Not
say
today,
to the
buddy.
god of
Not
death?
today, bitch.
Follow me. Follow me.
Not
I have
today.
shit for you to pick up.
Yeah, I'm arranging meetings. Come on.
What do we say to the god of death? Thank you, sir. Would you like another?
Thank you, sir. May I have another? You got it wrong.
Yes, sir. May I have some more?
For fuck's sake, turn off the YouTube. Jesus Christ.
All right. So that's gonna be it for us, guys. I hope that you have a wonderful week next week. We'll see you on Friday. These weirdos are out. Later.